How's it going, guys? I'm Albert with BALLISTA Archery, and today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why your strings might be breaking on you. First of all, I'm going to mention is that you're not supposed to shove other stuff into your crossbow. For example, there's been people that try to put a nail in there and see what happens, or they have these aftermarket bolts and they think that they can shoot them and not have any consequences. However, a lot of the times aftermarket bolts aren't designed for our specific miniature crossbow. You see, even a bolt like this, they sell them for other crossbows. However, this is a very light grain bolt. If you shoot this, it will cause a dry fire effect, and that not only will that break the string on your bat or crossbow, but it can also cause your limbs and your cams to break because the bolt is so dry. So the first thing, if you're experiencing issues, or so you don't experience issues, is don't shove other stuff into the bolts. I know that might seem silly, however, sometimes people get curious and curiosity killed the cat. We have specific bolts made specifically for our crossbows, like our Sting and our practice bolts. The second reason your string might break is because you're not putting your bolts in all the way. When you put your bolt in, you need to make sure it's in all the way. You'll hear it click like that. You put it in and it's not all the way. Sometimes when you're in a rush or you get excited, you don't put it in all the way, and then that causes that same dry fire effect and it ruins the string. Or if you're bow fishing, for example, if you're bow fishing and you're walking around with it loaded and you trip or something happens, first of all, I don't advise walking around with it loaded. However, some people do it. If you're walking around or something happens, your bolt might slide out just a little bit and you won't realize it because you put it in there. However, it slid just a little bit out. Then again, that dry fire effect happens. So make sure you're putting your bolts in all the way. And if you are walking around with the bolt with the bats loaded, make sure to double check before you shoot that the bolt is in there all the way. A third common reason why your strings might break or fray is because you don't uphold the recommended maintenance. We recommend you wax your strings every 20-25 shots. However, you don't have to wax them that often, but just keep in mind that the longer you wait in between each waxing period, the more your string is gonna fray and break. I've actually done a test where I sat down and it took me 2 days to shoot of just straight shooting over 600 shots, and I was just waxing it consistently and the string was still phenomenal. It's still phenomenal to this day. And I'll just show you guys real quick if you don't know how to wax them. It's pretty simple. You just grab some crossbow or bow wax. You don't need a lot. Just put it on your finger and you just work it in to the string. Now, another big one is that people will dry fire these crossbows. You're not supposed to dry fire anything, to be exact, but some people just don't know that. So here's a friendly reminder, never dry fire your crossbow. I'll show you guys how to unload it properly if you do load it and you have to put it down. So first of all, load it. Just like this, it's loaded. And now for whatever reason, can't shoot, do not dry fire it. Dry firing it means firing it without your bolt. So to uncock it, push into safety, and then you're gonna pull back this, and then when it pushes the safety, right before it pushes the safety out, you just trigger and let off. And that's how you avoid dry firing it if you have to uncock it. All right, guys, so that's a few common mistakes people do, and that's a few reasons why your string might break. So just don't forget, use common sense. Don't be shoving random stuff, random bolts into the crossbows. You might get hurt. Don't forget to put in the bolts all the way in so that they're all the way back in there. That will also cause a dry fire effect. And lastly, but not least, don't forget to do your maintenance, because this is a huge one and people just simply forget to wax their strings. Super simple, easy way to avoid your string breaking on you. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.